welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby. Welcome back to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Baby Ian, with my co-host Eva. What it do, baby?
Hey Ian, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just here, today we're talking about TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. Hello, listeners. And it's actually the next pay-per-view that's coming out. And we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite TLC matches.
All right. How do you want to start this list?
We could start. You could start with number 5 if you want.
All right, I'll go ahead and start with my number 5. Number 5 is kind of tricky because it is a good match.
Yeah.
But it was just more of the moment. Number 5 was Christian versus Alberto Del Rio, Extreme Rules 2011. It was for the vacate World Heavyweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
It was vacate because Edge was forced to retire due to his neck injury.
Yeah, triple fusion.
So I was always a huge Christian Edge and Christian's fan, but I follow Christian's career throughout basically, I don't want to, maybe 2000. Same with Edge. Christian was the reason why I started watching TNA. Following his career in TNA, I wish he could have had a little bit longer run in TNA. The reason why he left was because, all he wanted was opportunity to main event a pay-per-view or another title run, a world title run. But storyline, they had nothing for him. And so he, went back to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So back to, the Extreme Rules match. The match was good. I would rate it 3.5 stars,
Mm-hmm.
out of 5. So, but it was just that moment of Christian winning the world title. Finally, in the WWE, having that moment, and then Edge in the corner, being happy that the fact that he won the big one in WWE. So even though he was already a world champion in the world professional wrestling, he is now I believe a 4-time, but at the time he became a 3-time world champion. A 1-time world heavyweight champion in WWE.
Yeah.
So do you want to go back and forth, or do you want me to give out my whole list?
I'll go back and forth.
All right, go ahead with your number 4.
My number 5.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right.
My number 5 was Asuka versus Becky Lynch for Charlotte. Triple threat match at TLC 2018. It was just these 3 women are the
that
women.
Was the first ever TLC match?
Yeah, for the women, I think. Yeah, for sure. It looks like I think Asuka took the win for that one. So it's kind of good to see Asuka win the title, especially her being undefeated in NXT and not being cause sometimes you go from NXT to WWE, you kind of have that limbo thing where you're
she didn't have a good run. That's why I was kind of surprised that she won.
Yeah,
because when she came into the WWE to the main roster, she had a I don't want to say a good run, but she did had a good start. She won the Royal Rumble, went to WrestleMania. She lost, but she had a great match. That's what was that? 2018? 2018, that match, Charlotte versus Asuka, that was in my top 10.
Yeah.
For the year 2018. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all right, man. But yeah, just being in the ring with Becky and Charlotte, it just those were the heavy hitters at the time. Well, plus Sasha Banks and Bayley, but having her in that match with Charlotte and Becky was just the first ever TLC match for the women. It was just revolutionary, and it was a catalyst of where to go from there. And obviously, there's other ones after that. There was Money in the Bank and all that after that as well.
Yeah. So
that's probably in my top 5 for sure. Just Asuka being there, and then being these women finally getting a chance at the TLC match. So that's why it's my top 5.
Since you brought that up, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Months later after that, the main event of WrestleMania 35 was Ronda Rousey defending the Raw title and Charlotte defending the SmackDown title that she defeated Asuka. And then obviously Becky was in the match. Do you think Asuka should have been in that main event picture?
Yeah, she should have. I mean,
Make it a fatal 4-way.
yeah, because I mean, it was only like, what, like, I mean, Asuka did win the Royal Rumble that year, right? 2019 or no?
No, it was Becky.
2018. Oh, Becky.
2018 was Asuka.
Okay.
2019 was Becky. That's how she was able to go ahead and main event.
Yeah, I think Asuka's the most talented of all of them, so she probably would have been there just to make like the other ones, like especially Ronda Rousey, look good.
Yeah, because she main evented TLC and she won the SmackDown title. It's like, I don't understand why you couldn't have her make it a fatal 4-way match.
Yeah,
You know,
so
it's not like she wasn't. Yeah, it's not like she was gonna win anyways.
Yeah, just to have her in there would have been like a little different style.
Yeah, instead of having her in the pre-show.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but all right. So
what was number 4?
Number 4. So my number 4 is another Extreme Rules match, but this time it's gonna be Edge, defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules 2009. This was like, I personally felt like I wish it was a TLC match, but a ladder match is still a ladder match. At the end of the day, a ladder is involved anyways. But just having a singles match and a ladder match for the world title, main eventing the pay-per-view, it was pretty cool. I just kind of wish that it took place in Chicago because the pay-per-view before was Judgment Day and it took place in Chicago. So I kind of wish they would have flipped that around. But, the only thing, I had a mixed feeling about it. When Jeff Hardy won the World Heavyweight title, it was like, yes, he did it. He won. And then here comes CM Punk to, cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Jeff Hardy. And they're both baby faces. And it was kind of like a bittersweet moment because it was just like, yes, I want CM Punk to be world champion. Not really, because I was a fan of CM Punk, not so much. Obviously, I prefer Jeff Hardy. But it was just like, really? You had to cash it in on him? And obviously, that's when Punk turned heel. And but anyways, that match was great. I will give that match like another like 3.5 out of 5. It was a good match. It was some good spots. I remember this one spot. I think it took place. I keep getting confused because Jeff does a lot of crazy stunts, but it was like Jeff Hart. I think it was both Jeff and Edge like fell off the ladder onto another ladder. It was kind of like, it's something you have to watch. That's if it happened on that match because I honestly don't remember. But all right, go ahead with your number 4, Ever.
Actually, mine is actually about CM Punk and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, nice.
So it was actually SummerSlam 2009 for the World Heavyweight Championship, won by CM Punk. So for me, that was like a good match. Especially in the Indies, you always wanted to see CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy, just two high flyers and like two guys like different.
Will you consider CM Punk a high flyer?
Yeah, I mean, seeing his work in like in Indies.
Oh, in the Indies, yes, I will agree with you. He did. I saw some highlight clips of his moves, and I was surprised that he was able to do what's it called, the moonsault split, the thing that RBD does.
Yeah, like
the split moonsault.
Yeah, split moonsault. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that he was able to do that.
Yeah, I also like seeing him do the Pepsi plunge, which was like that top rope pedigree thing.
Oh yeah, well that's not really a high.
It's not.
It's a high spot, but it's not really a high fly move.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, just those two guys who had like, well, I think CM Punk was more ground. He was kind of high flyer, but he was more ground, and Jeff Hardy was all high flyer. And seeing CM Punk win the title that day was great because he's a Chicago dude like us. Right. So we're like, yeah, Chicago won. What's up?
That's why I don't really care. I think 2010 is when I became an actual fan of CM Punk. Don't get me wrong. In Ring of Honor, I was a huge CM Punk fan.
Yeah.
When he went to WWE, it was just like, okay, I had mixed feelings about him. Yeah. I didn't hate him. It was just like, yeah, I'll cheer for you and stuff like that. But the highlight of that match was when, for me, because I enjoyed that match as well. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But it was that Swanton bomb that Jeff Hardy did on top of the ladder on CM Punk on the announcing table. And that was the highlight moment. But also the Undertaker returning.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool when CM Punk was holding the world title, cheering, being happy for himself. showing off, and then the lights dim, and the what was those bells ring, and then the lights go back on. CM Punk goes down. Boom! There he is, the Undertaker. Boom! Grabs his throat, choke slam, and then started a whole new feud from that point on.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead with my number 3. Sorry, did you want to say something else about that match or?
No. It was definitely a good match, and I'll definitely, if it was anyone, I'll definitely check it out on the network.
All right. Well, my number 3 is gonna be the one that took place at WrestleMania 33. It was Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Good Brothers. I'm pretty sure that they weren't called the Good Brothers.
Yeah, they're called the OC or the Good Brothers.
Yeah, right.
Or
Enzo and Big Cass. And how was the other team? Was it Cesaro and Sheamus?
Yeah, they were
and
called.
Then the Bar.
The Bar.
Yeah, the Bar. And then the Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys, yeah.
I marked out when their music hit. I thought it was gonna be them, but then when the New Day came out with their gear, I'm not gonna lie, they got me. I fell for it. I thought it was gonna be them. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like the New Day, Yeah. But then the Hardy Boys theme song hit. I wish I could, sing it right now, but we can't.
Yeah.
But when hearing that music, I was watching it with my brother and my sister. We just freaking marked out. We were so happy to hear that theme song again, even though I listened to it on my free time. Just hearing it in the WWE stage in a pay-per-view, it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is great.
And these guys were in Impact and Ring of Honor before, and then all these indie stuff. Now they just came back home.
Yeah, and to capture the WWE Championship, Tag Team Championship again.
Yeah.
Was was a great feeling. The only problem was the match was pretty short, but even though it was short, it was a good high spot. Because honestly, when it comes to ladder matches, it's mainly high spots, anyways.
Yeah.
So, but that's go ahead with your number 3.
Number 3 would be John Cena versus Edge, Unforgiven 2016 Toronto. So Edge's hometown, and actually, it's weird, surprising that John Cena actually took the win in Toronto. Like, that's where Edge is from.
It's because in SummerSlam, the pay-per-view before, it was in Boston, where John Cena's from.
So they just kind of went back and forth to the cities.
Basically.
Don't he be playing to the hometown crowd? I don't know about that. Or go against the hometown crowd.
Yeah, that match was it was good.
Yeah.
But I think the main event should have been oh my gosh. Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton.
Really? Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton. I think that should have closed the show.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania SummerSlam 2006, that should have closed the show.
Yeah, but I don't know why they didn't with each other.
Yeah.
But I think the part where I liked it was it's kind of weird because you kind of see why was the referee holding the ladder while John Cena was doing the attitude adjustment? Remember, it was there's 2 tables.
Yeah.
And then John Cena had Edge on his shoulders, and the referee was holding the ladder
for the balance and stuff.
Yeah, but it's weird. A referee would actually help out in a match. You would think, John Cena would just hold him there and do it, and then boom. No, but the referee was in there just holding in the ladder
Hell yeah! Well, imagine John Cena just doing that by himself. John Cena would have got
botched.
Yeah, it would. The ladder would have fell and everything. John Cena would have just flew.
Yeah,
he would have just went with them too.
Yeah, but that was a good spot though. I mean,
yeah, it was the highlight spot for a few months, and then they just stopped talking about it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like that match actually, especially with Edge. I think that was almost his prime, right? When he had multiple championships. Because he was back and forth. I think he became a.
Well, no, because RVD was supposed to have a nice title run.
Oh yeah,
but he failed the drug test.
Yeah.
So
surprisingly, right?
So they dropped. Yeah. So they dropped. He had to drop the belt to Edge. So who knows how the story would have gone? But no offense to RVD, we would have. If it wasn't for him failing it, we would not have been able to see that match.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's kind of sucks because it's damn, RVD won the WWE Championship.
And ECW Arena.
And yeah, so
Philadelphia
defeated Johnson.
Yeah.
That was a great match too.
Yeah.
But that's, a different story.
Yeah.
Or a different episode.
What was your number 2?
My number 2 is none other. I believe this was the second ever TLC match. WrestleMania 17. The Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, me too. Actually, that was my number 2.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Well, then we could talk about it together. Then.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go.
So that's your number 2. That's my number 2. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Going into that match. So did you knew that match was gonna take place? Because I knew about the pay-per-view. Like I knew it was gonna. Like I knew that match was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because at that time I was watching SmackDown and just SmackDown.
Yeah, I knew that match was gonna happen. I think it was like this is a sequel, right?
It was basically like a rematch, kind of in a way of SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
So not really, but you know what I mean. But it's like I remember like they announced that match, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen again because I did watch the SummerSlam 2000. That was the whole. Remember how I told you I watched the Undertaker and Kane?
Yeah.
So that match sucked. But anyways. The fact of I was kind of disappointed because I was like, man, I wanted to see that pay-per-view, but it was a lot of money at the time. And I remember I wanted the Hardy Boys to win that match. And then, Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian are those people where it's just like I hate them, but you love them at the same time.
Yeah, like you hate them like as a character, but like man, they're good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
And but then obviously later on when the movie came out on VHS, what is it? VHS, ABC. Anyways, I was able to catch it, and I think my friend actually bought it as a gift for me and gave it to me, so I was able to watch it like that. And just watching the matches and that, oh my gosh, the one that made me, everybody would say it was Edge and Jeff Hardy, Edge spearing Jeff Hardy on top of the ladder.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Don't get me wrong. That was freaking amazing. But for me, it was when Rhino gore Lita.
Whoa.
Because, basically he like
obliterated.
Yeah, it like broke her in half and stuff like that. It was just like, oh my gosh. And remember Lita at that time, bro. Oh my gosh. She was fine.
And then ECW just ended, so it was like still fresh about ECW being there.
Was that Rhino's first debut, or was he always known at that time?
He was there. I think he was known to be like an ECW guy.
No, because he teamed up with, what's his name?
Tajiri or something?
No, that's later on.
Oh, yeah.
He was with Edge and Christian. I just don't remember if that was his first debut or he was on WWE before that.
I think he was in WWE for a second, then he left and went back to ECW, then ECW ended, and then that's when he jumped to WWE.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, like those years kind of blurry sometimes. Like the years.
Well, yeah.
Especially with ECW and WCW ending, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And the invasion happened, so like, oh my god.
But all right, you want to give them your number 1?
My number 1 is actually the match we just talked about, the prequel. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus Dudleys, SummerSlam 2000, the first one ever.
SummerSlam,
yep.
Yeah, that's the pay-per-view I saw too.
Yeah, so Edge and Christian were the champions at the time.
I saw that whole pay-per-view. That whole pay-per-view was pretty great.
Wait, I'm confused. Which one was the one where Jeff Hardy was like, the entrance, like the fan entrance? You know when you come to like an arena and
that was WrestleMania.
That was 17? Or that was
I think that was WrestleMania 20, the year WrestleMania 16.
When he jumped on
Bubba Ray?
Yeah. Okay. What was the one where Matt Hardy was on top and then they pushed him and he like fell to those tables?
Was he by himself?
Yeah, he was by himself. He was wearing all black and he kind of like.
That could have been SummerSlam.
I mean,
WrestleMania 17 was the big high spot crashing through 4 tables. Yeah. That was Bubba Ray and Matt Hardy.
Okay.
And then outside, it was Jeff Hardy doing the Swanton Bomb on Spike Dudley and Rhino. And WrestleMania 20, that the big spot I could remember was Jeff Hardy doing the swanton on the entryway
Yeah.
on Bubba Ray, and that's where he like landed on his tailbone.
Oh.
And then the other big spot was when Christian, I think it was Christian or Edge, one of those two pushed Matt Hardy, and basically he flipped on through the table. But SummerSlam, I don't remember too much. It's weird. I don't remember much about it.
I think because it was like the first one, everybody's like, like the first match of anything, you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, I don't get the concept. But then when you watch it like a second event or third event, you're like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's probably like that. We're like, we have an idea most of the matches. Obviously, I knew it was a good match because I loved it. But like sometimes I get confused with the WrestleMania one. So, I got
WrestleMania 1 should have been your number 1 then.
Yeah, that's true. I should have done that. Yeah, but so obviously 1 and 2 could be flipped. Everybody's different. Probably maybe
who knows if you go rewatch it, you'll probably say nope, that's gonna be my number 1.
Yeah, I think I gotta rewatch it a couple more times, and it'll be like, oh yeah, for sure this one. But like, they're first and second, so I could interchange them, as much as I can.
Yeah, it's the same people anyway.
Yeah, it's literally the same match, just different events and pretty much different year, just different outcome too. I think.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally understand, and I agree with you. All right, well, when my number 1 pick is a TLC match. It's the one that took place in 2008, One Night Stand. It was Edge versus The Undertaker for the vacate World Heavyweight Championship, and also The Undertaker's career. If The Undertaker lost and did not capture the world title, he was going to be fired. So the build-up, remember, from the Undertaker tribute match or show episode, whatever. The feud of Edge and The Undertaker was great because it didn't start in November. It started all the way when Edge cashed in Money in the Bank briefcase on The Undertaker. So it was like a year storyline. So the fact of, all right, we finally have this Rumble match. Taker and Edge, WrestleMania. Taker goes over. Streak is alive, and he's world champion. Backlash. Undertaker retains the world title. He chokes out Edge with what was that submission move called? The Hellgate.
Hell's Gate?
The Hellgate. No, Hellgate. Hellgate.
It was like a
MMA submission move.
It was an omiplata or something. It was like a neck. You put your neck.
It's an ankle on his neck and push down.
Push down. Yeah. And just hold him down.
Yeah. And beat him that way. Vicky said it was a legal move. They had another match at Judgment Day. The title was vacated. She stripped The Undertaker from the title. So now Judgment Day. Taker hit what's his name, Edge with the tombstone outside the ring. Taker wins by count out, but Vicky says we can't crown a new champion by a count out. So that's why the TLC match took place. The match was great. I give that match a 4.5 star match. I love I'm trying to remember how it went. I could be wrong. I feel like Edge is the one who took the last ride move. It was from the top of the ladder, and top of the ladder, and then he
landed on a staircase.
No, he landed onto 2 tables.
Ooh.
I believe it was Edge, or it was either Hawks or Ryder.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Edge. And then obviously that one big spot, the ending was with Edge pushing the ladder with The Undertaker on top and landing on 4 tables and crashing burn and scratched up his whole entire elbow, busted open because his elbow landed first on concrete. So, and the feeling, because I watched that live on pay-per-view, and that feeling of The Undertaker losing and Edge winning the world title, again, it's just one of those feelings where it's like, I love Edge, but I just hate the fact that he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then the fact that The Undertaker, he's fired. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, is he really gone? Can Like, is this for real? Is he coming back? Is he gonna retire? It was just one of the things I didn't understand, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's just definitely one of my favorite matches, TLC matches, and you know, and one of my favorite Edge matches as well. But you
We gotta do
know,
an episode on him one day.
we should.
Sure.
We definitely. Oh yeah, we definitely have to do an episode on him. I could talk like that's like 5 episodes for me.
Yeah.
Like hopefully, but
Stay tuned, guys, for that.
Yeah. But you know, November. No, not November. I'm going crazy right now. December 20th is TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Remember when they used to be named Armageddon? Remember Armageddon?
Yeah. Well, no, it was never. It wasn't like renamed. It was just a pay-per-view that took place in December.
Yeah.
But and then they replaced it with TLC. But what would you prefer, TLC or Armageddon?
I think TLC because it's more. I like stipulation sometimes. I mean, they overdid it sometimes, like Fatal 4-Way, and then they did like these random ones where, like, you know, it's like we're just gonna name matches, pay-per-views after matches. But TLC is definitely one I should keep. You know, like
I just don't like where it's at. You know what I mean?
Like like in December, you're talking about like date.
Yeah.
Like you think it's like more of a summer. Well, Money in the Bank's in the summer or WrestleMania summer.
Yeah, I feel like October. Like, why can't you bring back like I feel like October should be Extreme Rules or Halloween Havoc.
Well, yeah, he did that already. NXT did that. Yeah.
But for me, December, I feel like Payback would be a good pay per view because it's kind of like the
end of the year.
The end of the year. So it's just like, you know, Payback. All right, have your last few on this pay per view. Like TNA had that pay per view of Final Revolution. You know how it's like, all right, well, if you have any Final Revolutions or any feuds to end, this is the pay-per-view to do it.
Yeah, especially with Royal Rumble the month after, and then after that.
It's basically a new year and new storylines. But anything like any match you would like to book, if you had control right now, let's just say Universal and WWE, if you could book the matches for TLC right here, right now, what match would you book? With current champions Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre.
Well, Drew McIntyre for sure would want a rematch with Randy Orton.
Okay.
Just seeing like the Claymore from the top or the RKO from the top would be kind of crazy.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then Roman Reigns, I think
in a TLC match or just a standard
TLC match.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Roman Reigns. Well, he's not really a flyer, is he? As much. He's never really like known for his like.
No, like, he's a powerhouse.
Yeah, so I mean Roman Reigns, I wouldn't mind, but I would want Jimmy to come back and be like that black sheep of the family. Like, oh yeah, I don't care if you're a tribal chief or not, and then actually face Roman Reigns or Jey Uso. Okay. And then like take respect back to his family or The Rock maybe, but The Rock is more WrestleMania.
Yeah, we're not ready to say that.
But I think
WrestleMania maybe.
But for sure, Jimmy would come back. I heard he's gonna come back soon. So you never know. He might actually be like Jimmy versus Roman Reigns. And then Jay has to choose between his brother or his cousin, which, you know, he kind of would lean to his brother, but you never know nowadays. And I'd be like, he's like, you know, he has him in the top, and then he's like, either me or you. And then he makes a decision to throw one of them off, who knows who, and just be like, for the family or something, like an Italian kind of thing.
Kind of like a story kind of thing. Yeah. But for me, I'll try to make this quick. That's what she said. It'll be Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton TLC match. Roman Reigns versus who's on SmackDown? I didn't even know who's on SmackDown.
Hardy. No, Hardy's on Raw.
I would say
Ricochet. No, he's on Raw.
I don't even know. Kevin Steen. There you go. No, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens in a TLC match. Yeah. But yeah, that's something I would book. But all right, unfortunately, we are out of time, and will be it for this episode. Until next time, I'm your host Ian with my co-host Ever. We are out.
Thank you guys. Have a good night, and thank you for hearing.
Do do do. Yay!